Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
A new phase starting today. More people in Michigan will be eligible to get COVID-19 vaccinations. What you need to know to get your shot. A call to action with just 9 days left before President Trump's term comes to an end. The House of Representatives is forging ahead with plans to try to remove him from office now. And Michigan Representative Debbie Dingell steps in as Speaker pro tempore.
The House stands adjourned to 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Meanwhile, the riots that left 5 people dead and prompted this call to action have reignited debates over whether guns should be allowed inside Michigan's Capitol. Thank you for joining us this noon. We will get to what's happening in Lansing in just a moment. But first, we want to take a look at the latest developments surrounding the siege at the Capitol. Republicans just blocked a House resolution calling on Vice President Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment and remove President Trump from office.
House Resolution 21, resolution calling on Vice President Michael R. Pence to convene and mobilize the principal officers of the executive departments of the cabinet to activate Section 4 of the 25th Amendment to declare President Donald J. Trump incapable of executing the duties of his office and to immediately exercise powers as acting president.
For what purpose does the gentleman from West Virginia rise?
I object.
Now, that meeting was adjourned until 9 a.m. tomorrow, but Democrats can still bring up the 25th Amendment vote tomorrow as they also move forward with an article of impeachment. President Trump is now charged with, quote, incitement of insurrection. Meantime, the mayor of Washington, D.C. just spoke out urging Americans to avoid Washington, D.C. during President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration on January 20th.
Our goals right now are to encourage Americans to participate virtually and to protect the District of Columbia from a repeat of the violent insurrection experienced at the Capitol.
For a closer look at security in Washington, D.C. and what is being planned, we'll turn things over to Tom Costello reporting from the nation's capital.
Good day. So the FBI and D.C. Police Department very much involved in trying to track down anybody who was a part of this mob attack on Capitol Hill. The FBI says it is working 40,000 leads nationwide. Every single field office is on this job. Dozens of people have already been arrested, including alleged ringleaders, some of whom had, it appears, zip ties potentially to arrest people and maybe members of Congress. And they also were wearing tactical gear, helmets and body armor. So the concern is that their objective here may have been much more than just intimidating members of Congress. This is now the top priority for the FBI. Their concern is that there may be more plots in the offing and more threats of violence, especially going into the inauguration, and they need to disrupt those plots before they get out of hand. In the meantime, the flags over the White House now are at half staff, several days after that Capitol police officer, Brian Sicknick, was killed in the line of duty. I'm Tom Costello on Capitol Hill. Back to you.
Tom, thank you. Meanwhile, the riots in Washington, D.C. have reignited debates here at home over whether guns should be allowed inside of Michigan's state capitol building. The debate first started in the spring when armed protesters entered the state capitol. Wednesday's riot in D.C. and a bomb threat in Lansing on Thursday have lawmakers re-examining their stance. They are meeting to talk about it at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and you can follow the developments. We're carrying it live on our website at clickondetroit.com. Also making headlines this noon, as on the business news front, Michigan enters a new COVID-19 vaccine phase today as more residents are now eligible to be vaccinated. Anyone age 65 and older in our state is now eligible for the vaccine, along with essential workers, including teachers and first responders, child care workers, and more. An important note, it is not first come, first serve. You do have to make an appointment ahead of time on your county's health department website or by call calling your county health department. In Detroit, those 75 and older and any good neighbor 65 and older who will drive a 75-year-old to the TCF Center and essential workers can also be vaccinated if you are a City of Detroit resident. You can call 313-230-0505, the number right there on your screen, to schedule your appointment if you're a Detroit-only resident. Let's send things over to Sean Lay this noon, who has a closer look at this new phase of distribution. Sean, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ron. A new phase indeed as we track the vaccine throughout the state and where you live. We just heard from St. Clair County, no longer right now taking vaccination appointments because the supply just isn't there. Ingham County said 12,000 people signed up just like that. The supply from the state, again, is not there right now. We just spoke with the leaders of the Beaumont Health System. They have vaccinated more than anyone in the state, government or private, because they are the largest healthcare provider. 20,000 vaccinations so far, but they are poised to do so much more. They said they need to hear from the state on when those vaccinations are rolling in. In many counties like Macomb, supply of the vaccine remains far short of expected.
So this is one of our ultra cold freezers. Again, you can look through this thing. There is no vaccines in it.
Macomb County Executive Mark Hackle criticizing the governor, saying they can handle 50,000 vaccines a week, but have only been getting 1,000. The governor saying they're shipping out as many as they're getting so far, 60,000 per week from Pfizer. Beaumont Hospital online attempts to get the first dose were so high over the weekend, causing a full system crash that has now been fixed. Detroiters, vaccines will be given at the TCF Center starting Wednesday. It is appointment only for those 75 or older and anyone 65 or older who drives a senior. It is a drive-through vaccine clinic. You must have an appointment again. More than 42,000 vaccines have been shipped to the city of Detroit. Fewer than half of that, 20,000, have been shipped to Wayne County. Oakland County, 69,000 vaccines have been shipped. Washtenaw, 37,000 vaccines have been shipped. Health officials there asking for you to be patient. All right, so back here live again at 5 o'clock, Rhonda. We're going to take you inside Beaumont Health System. Over the weekend, so many people flooded the website to make vaccination appointments. The servers couldn't handle it, so they on the fly had to add more servers, and they got it done so you can make the appointment. However, again, they need to hear from the state because they can vaccinate a lot of people, thousands over the next few days, but sometime early next week they could run out, so they need those shipments to come. Much more on tracking the vaccine tonight, 4, 5, and 6. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Sean. And right now on clickondetroit.com, we have the breakdown of the guidelines released by several counties and hospitals across Metro Detroit. Look for that on the coronavirus page. The United States passes 22,429,000 coronavirus cases, and more than 374,000 people have died from this virus. These are the very latest statistics from the Johns Hopkins University database. At this rate, January will be the deadliest month of COVID-19 in the U.S. Here in Michigan, we are expecting an update on coronavirus cases today. It will be a 2-day total. The U.S. has reported more than 100,000 coronavirus hospitalizations for 40 days in a row. Vaccine can't get out soon enough. The man charged in the beating of a nursing home patient is facing a judge for a preliminary exam. Jaden Hayden, he is of Ypsilanti and is accused of beating a 75-year-old man who was his roommate at the nursing home in Northwest Detroit. It happened last May, and prosecutors say that Hayden recorded and posted the attack online and then stole the man's credit cards. We'll keep you posted as this case continues. New here at noon, a statewide audit is underway of 2020's November election results. More than 180,000 ballots are being randomly selected for review. Clerks will have 2 weeks to review the ballots. The audit will compare to the hand-counted totals to the machine-tabulated results. The theme for President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration is America United. Meanwhile, Joe Biden continues to build his leadership team 9 days ahead of the inauguration next week. Respected veteran American diplomat William Burns has been named as his nominee for director of the Central Intelligence Agency. Bill Burns, as he's known, is a veteran diplomat who served in the U.S. Foreign Services for 33 years. He has served in posts around the world from the Reagan to Obama administrations. Pope Francis has changed church law to expand what women are allowed to do during the celebrations of Catholic Mass. The Pope amended the law to formalize some common practices in many parts of the world. Women currently read the gospel and serve on the altar as Eucharistic ministers, but Francis reaffirmed that women cannot be priests. The change comes as Francis remains under pressure to allow women to be deacons. He has created a second study commission of experts to study whether women could be deacons after a first one failed to reach consensus. Switching gears and talking about the weather this noon as Brandon is standing by with a look at our forecast. Taking a look outside, we're seeing more clouds than sun this noon. Hopefully that will change soon. Here's Brandon.
Of course, the weekend brought beauty to the area, and we're back to work and school, and we've got clouds, cool temps. Man, enough's enough. Temps are right around 30 degrees. We have 30 at Metro, 30 up in Lapeer, 29 in Ann Arbor, 29 Howell. Winds out of the west-southwest, 5 to 15 miles an hour. A pesky breeze keeping our wind chills in the teens and 20s, exactly where we were when we saw you at 4:30 this morning. Only a few degrees warmer, hanging on to those clouds, and Rhonda can't rule out a little spritz, maybe a flurry or two. We'll talk more about any changes, including a warm-up and
all right, thank you, Brandon. New here at noon, we now know the North American car, truck, and utility vehicle of the year. The North American car of the year is the Hyundai Elantra, and this is the second time that the Elantra has won as car of the year. The first time was back in 2012. The truck of the year is the Ford F-150. It takes the crown over the Jeep Gladiator Mojave and the Ram 1500 TRX. The utility vehicle of the year goes to the all-new Ford Mustang Mach-E. It's an electric vehicle, and it is a beauty. Congratulations to all the winners. Still to come, a startling surge of coronavirus cases overseas, why Britain is bracing for its toughest days.